is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, and today I wanted to share my most impressive game of Storybook Brawl ever. Not only is it an impressive win, but it's also impressive how I got there. In Hearthstone Battlegrounds, there is an achievement called AFK, where you take the hero AFK and you skip an additional turn on top of the ones that AFK already has you skipping. While Storybook Brawl doesn't have achievements, I basically did the equivalent of that in this game, and it was totally by accident. I just disconnected, and by the time I realized I was disconnected and force quit and reloaded the game back up, I had missed an additional shop and then was playing catch up from there. So we log back in and we reconnect to the servers, and this is where I realized that I wound up skipping an additional turn and that we are in a little bit of trouble. Luckily, the one unit that we did have is Lucky, which I think is really, really good with Skip. It's one of the best units that you can have with Skip, I think, and really allows you just that 2 extra gold per turn, whether you win or lose the combat. I think it's pretty strong. Also, I think Fanny is good here, and I buy Queen of Hearts. I'm not sure if that was because I was a little bit frazzled for just joining back into the game. Queen of Hearts is a really powerful minion, so that's probably partially why I purchased it. But it's not going to be really good for us here at all, as it's just going to be a 1-3. I think that some of the plays in this video I might wind up disagreeing with as well, and I haven't actually watched this video basically since I recorded the games for it a month ago, but I do remember that it was a super sweet game, and I know a little bit about what's coming up, but I don't know exactly the journey that we take to get there. So there I eeny-meeny for a stag and then buy a tiny rather than just buying the choop. And then this next shop has 3 different pairs. Yeah, I guess that's good enough as any to lock. I don't really think that I want the Queen of Hearts, like I said, but the stag seems good, the Fanny seems fine. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if this is a good shop, to be honest with you. Maybe it just isn't. Maybe I should just be giving up on this shop because I'm just so far behind in tempo, and Lucky is going to help, but I'm still going to be losing a lot of health each combat, and I really have to find a way to get a powerful board and fast. Otherwise, I'm just going to be dead. So that's always part of what you are doing with Skip, is you are trying to use the additional, like, increased power of your minions that you're allowed to purchase to try to find some tempo and try to find a way back into the game. But this opponent actually doesn't look like they're really doing too much, so I think we're actually going to be able to win a combat, which is a relief. Yeah, we're going to be able to win this one pretty handedly. So that's pretty good, and hopefully that buys us the time to try to get back into this one. I don't actually think I really wanted the Queen of Hearts, but if it only costs 1 because of Lucky, then I suppose we can purchase it. But this is exactly what I was thinking, why this was an awkward shop, because if we want to make use of the Fannies, we can't make full use of the stags, and if we want to make use of all of that, then we definitely aren't making use of the Queen of Hearts. So it's definitely really awkward to try to field everything here. I wonder if I will play dwarves for a minute. I also must say that I'm not sure what version of Princess White this is, if I do buy it. There have obviously been a decent amount of changes to the game in the past month, and for the most part, the videos that I'm uploading on YouTube are pretty consistent with what's still available in the game, but obviously there have been some changes since I played this about a month ago. But looks like I'm not going to pick up the Princess White here, so really doesn't matter. We're just going to use dwarves and the power of Fanny support to kind of help us build some tempo and get through, but my opponent is also playing dwarves, and let's see, yeah, Princess White is growing in that back line, so my My opponent's going to have a pretty strong board here. I don't think, yeah, there's no way I make it out of this one alive, but I only take 4 damage, so maybe it's not the worst thing in the world, but there you go. There's the old Princess White. She was really, really good. I guess now I take a Queen of Hearts because it's a free treasure. Sarcophagus is really good. It's the best treasure that's here, despite not having any evil characters. But maybe with the Sarcophagus and the upgraded Queen of Hearts. Oh, there's also a... oh, please tell me I take that, right? Okay, yeah. Grim Soul plus a Polywoggle, and I'm level 5. Maybe this is what happens. Okay, this is how I get back into the game. I grab a level... Wow, an additional Grim Soul, an additional Polywoggle. Well, surely I've got to lock this shop here or figure out a way to make this work. Okay, I didn't remember this part of the game at all, but this is pretty cool. I'm assuming I sell a stag, grab the Polywoggle, and then I guess I don't even have to lock the shop. Okay, I'm going to sell the Queen of Hearts. That's really interesting because I have the Sarcophagus, but I don't have anywhere near of a board to start playing that Queen of Hearts, so it does make some sense, and hopefully this is a way to get back into the game. Skip with a Polywoggle. If this is a good level 6 unit, then that makes sense how we're able to get back into this one. Like I said, I played this game about a month ago. Wow, that's a big monster. The Magic Sword is a that's not actually a great support, but I guess it's good enough. Yeah, it's a 10-13, right? Yeah, so or a 10-30. That's what I mean. A 10-30 is actually just the raw stats is all that we want there from the Green Knight. So yeah, Magic Sword is a level 6 treasure at this time, so that's kind of interesting too. Another Polywoggle, even so. Needle Nose Daggers, okay, that seems a little bit risky, but sure, go ahead, go off. Then I'm going to grab a Green Knight, so yeah, I can put in the stag because I'm not able to play both of these fannies here. I would really love another Polywoggle. I don't know, will I roll just a whole bunch and try to find an upgrade for this Polywoggle? I will say that would be really sweet, and that would be a really sweet way to find myself back into this game. I'm not sure, I wasn't paying attention. Did I buy that Fairy Godmother? I might have. I'm trying to think about where this is going. I don't know why I'm paused here, if it's to think about the lucky or what. Oh, going for the spell. Okay, I mean, this is all very interesting. Like I said, I'm basically watching this for the first time now, but I guess I'm content to just have one Polywoggle activate this turn, and then have one more Polywoggle activate next turn, and then I have 3 level 6 units, and can potentially pick some sort of direction from there. Sergeant Mudkip is basically not playing, and with those 2 Polywoggles, it looks like we may have found a little bit of direction, because 2 trees are going to synergize together pretty nicely. So I will have the Green Knight support the Ashwood there, and then they're both going to be like 30-30s or bigger. So yeah, this is looking like a decent start. I'm just going to go ahead and pump up the Ashwood. I think if I was playing now, I would consider purchasing these mummies here as well, just because that is such a strong unit. I definitely don't need another Polywoggle because we're about to be level 6. If I could have upgraded a Polywoggle, I think that would have been really good to just get a unit on the cheap. But okay, looks like I am going to go for the Polywoggle, and I find the Polywoggle upgrade right before we hit level 6. It's a little bit tough to figure out what I want to get rid of because I am going to need to either break up a pair or toss Fanny, which is my support, but I can throw the Stag in the front there. Maybe I want to throw Lucky in the front as well, so that way Stag is buffing up the Tiny and Lucky is more likely to die. But this is interesting. This is interesting. I really did not remember how we got to this point. I just knew that I had missed the first part of the game and then I know what the end result is because it gets a little bit crazy, but no spoilers. I just can't contain myself. All right, what do we get from the Polywoggle? We get an upgraded Hercules. Upgraded Hercules is pretty cool because it gets its treasure a lot faster than a non-upgraded Hercules. We might even get it right now. No, we aren't going to get it right now, but we'll get it in just 1 or 2 more combats, and then we'll actually get a level 7 treasure because we have those rune stones. So that's pretty good, and it looks like the needle nose daggers are doing us pretty well. And then I'm going to take a good boy here. Don't really have a use for Grimsoul, and that can pump up the Hercules here as well. I also do like the friendly spirit because we have the Grimsoul in there. So let's see, do I sell 2 things and then feed the Kraken on the lucky to purchase this friendly spirit, and then yeah, swap out the stag. So we're not using that ancient sarcophagus at all. Definitely could have picked up a different treasure, but the treasures were like Bad Moon, and then it might have been like give your slay creatures +3/+3. I'm not sure what the third option for treasure was, but I don't think those would have been super useful either. And maybe I wasn't paying super close attention. Maybe the sarcophagus saved us in a combat or 2. But this is a really powerful board. We've got an upgraded level 6 and then 3 other level 6 minions, and we just hit level 6, and we're skip, which means that everybody else is just hitting level 5. So I think that's good enough to stabilize here. We're going to be growing the Ashwood this entire time, and we'll see what we are able to come up with. A bunch of Romeos on my opponent's side of the table and an Eye of Eris, so everything is getting additional attack. That means we're going to be getting a level 7 treasure there as I mouse over the rune stones. And let's see, are my frontline creatures are going to be big enough to deal with these Juliets here, right? Yeah, this'll take out Romeo, and then Juliet will trade into Hercules. So we're surviving and we're thriving. I think we're doing pretty good right now. And here we have a choice of 3 different supports: Phoenix Feather, Round Table, and Mirror Mirror. Now, Round Table is certainly an interesting option there because we do kind of have a little bit of a tree thing going on, but we also have a good boy already, so I think that picking up the Mirror Mirror is definitely really strong here, and we'll be able to make good use of that. So I think I'm going to TLK the Hercules, and we turn it into an Oni King. Not really exactly what we want to see, but the reason I did that is because we'd already used up the Hercules' treasure, so I'm not super tied to it at this point in the game, and I'm fine just rolling and seeing what else we can get. But the Lancelot should be able to proc his treasure pretty quickly here with the Good Boy and the Fairy Godmother, plus being supported by the Green Knight. So it's already at 17 health. It'll get 3 health plus 2 health from the Good Boy dying plus the Godmother, so that puts it to 22. And then we just need a few other things to die or for it to get 1 slay or something, but it goes up to the 22, and then that's right, the Good Boy comes back, and then this will put it up to, oh, I guess it didn't count because it was damaged. Okay, so that doesn't actually count then, because I think it went above 25 health, but it was damaged, so it didn't count when the new one comes in. Oh, but then that one counts. Oh, that's really interesting. So that one counted, but that was my mirrored Lancelot. And you can just see the power of Mirror Mirror plus Good Boy. So I'm actually going to grab a level 5 treasure here, and Mimic seems just as good as any of my possible treasures here. I can toss that sarcophagus, and now I've got Mirror Mirror Mimicked, which is just incredibly, incredibly powerful. And I am considering the Monkey's Paw here, I suppose, but I don't think I should take it. Mimic with Mirror Mirror is just way too powerful. I do understand Monkey's Paw with Good Boy is also pretty tempting, but yeah, let's take the Mirror Mirror Mimic. And as you can see, the the Lancelot still has the ability to complete his treasure. So let's see, if I sold 5 more things, I could buy an additional Green Knight. And I think here's where I realized that the Lancelot still has a treasure on him. So yeah, a little bit awkward to try to get him in and try to get everything in. It's tough. It's tough to play everything that you want to in this composition, because we just don't have the board slots, and I don't wind up locking or caring about the Green Knight, and I think that's totally fine. I think we really just want to roll for good boys here. Dragons are a really good counter to our comp, but now it means that every time we spawn something with the mirror, we are going to get that double usage of it. I mean, you can just see how crazy this is. I think it's going to be really tough for our opponents to beat it at this point. We have 2 Echo Woods. We basically have 2 good boys or 3 good boys. And yeah, it's just really wonderful. So I'm not sure exactly what the best composition is. There's another Green Knight. So I could have had a triple of that at this point, though. I mean, yeah, probably not. It's not actually how that works. Fairy Godmother does seem like it could be good. The Needle Nose Daggers is pretty shocking that we actually still have that. That is quite incredible. But basically what I was trying to say, and what I'm getting to a little bit, is that if I play less units now, and I think now is when I'm going to realize this, that if I start to play less units, I actually have more units right now, because I can, like, all of these units are going to resummon themselves. So I think maybe I keep in the Lancelot on the chance that I could get this treasure off of it. But if I were to, for instance, cut the Fairy Godmother and move one of these Echo Woods to the front line, when my first good boy dies, it would spawn more good boys. So because of that, I'm going to put the good boys in the back of the front line, so that way it's more likely that some of my other units have died twice, and the good boys are able to populate on that first spot. So we'll see the Friendly Spirit dies twice there, and then this good boy dies. So the only thing that can still mirror is the good boy, but this is a huge good boy. It's going to eventually die. Then 2 more good boys are going to get summoned. They're both going to get +50/+50, which, by the way, means I'm getting a free treasure from Lancelot now as well, because he was able to upgrade. So Tree of Life seems really good. Ambrosia also seems really good. I'm not really sure if there's a way that I can really go wrong here. From here, I think the goal is to just find more good boys. Probably buy a Pigomorph. Yeah, I mean, Pigomorph is just always good. Could buy the chicken here. What else do I really want? I mean, Mirror Mimic is just insane. And the fact that I was able to put together just such a powerful comp. Oh, okay, that's pretty smart. So here I'm still hoping that the Friendly Spirit and the Fairy Godmother die first and throw some additional stats on these good boys, and then I'm also going to just support the good boys so that way they're even more likely to stick around. I think that that's pretty good. I mean, the less units that you play, the more likely you are to possibly get scammed, so that is something that you need to watch out for. Like, if I were to play just the 2 good boys in the front row, then it's much easier for an opponent to pick up like a Medusa or something and flip the script on me. So that is something that you do have to watch out for and do have to be careful of. So one of the good boys winds up dying here, and then the good boy comes back in, pumps itself. You saw it happen last combat. It's pretty crazy. Now both the Fairy Godmother and this good boy are both going to summon 2 copies for themselves when they resummon in. And you can see the Echo Woods have 300 health and just barely any attack, because the good mothers have died so much. Now we'll get the good boys in there. Even more health on all of these things. I don't even know if these good boys are going to wind up dying. Okay, there goes one of the good boys. And then this one won't die, though. Yeah, this last good boy is going to stick around as we take out my opponent's Juliet's here. So that's pretty funny. Yeah, we don't quite get to huge heights there, but still like way more powerful things than my opponents are doing by far. So pretty crazy stuff. I think here I'm considering like cutting the Green Knight and maybe playing down some units. In which case that Monkey's Paw could have been good. Could have been good, but not nearly as good as the Mimic on the Mirror, which is the real reason that we were playing down things. I'm like, okay, wait, Trojan Donkey, that could be really good. If Trojan Donkey, because I saw just that health, that fight, I just had so much health. And I'm thinking, okay, well, if Trojan Donkey can get like 1,000 health or something, then maybe we just want to put that in, because that'll be able to summon a bunch of units and just be really powerful. Then I see it was all a dream, so definitely going to lock for that. Honestly, could consider selling the donkey plus my bench and buying that was all a dream. We're playing up against a ghost here, so it would be much more beneficial to use my spell to switch heroes this round. And actually, I mean, I definitely shouldn't have been playing that donkey if my opponent's just going to do dragon things against us here. But this actually works out well for us because my opponent's dragon kills my backline. So now when my front line resummons, they are going to resummon with multiple copies. So this was a little bit silly, but it actually wound up working out really well for us here. I do need these good boys to die soon. All right, this one's going to spawn 2 good boys, and everything's going to have a bunch of health. And the Tree of Life is going to buy us some health here as well. And I'm actually not even going to lose another unit. So there we go. That was just my front line. And for sure, my opponent did use the dragons, but that's really important to know that I can get away with just playing my front line because this comp is so powerful. So here I'm going to take It Was All a Dream, and we see Mask. Wow. Okay. So we see Mask as an option here. That's really funny because Mask was just in this lobby, and I guess my opponent, did they switch to Miri from Mask? I don't know. But now we're Mask. I did know this was going to happen, but because we had a full, there's another dream, because we had a full shop, or a full bench, the dreams were going to go in the shop. Now, luckily, we were able to hold onto one of the dreams, which is really all that I cared about. Basically, I didn't like any of those heroes there, so I figured just buying Mask is like another reroll. Here we see another dream, another chance at it. So pretty funny, but had I sold everything and dreamed into Mask last turn, then I wouldn't have had that problem. So that definitely would have been a lot better for us, but here we are, you know? All right, so both of the good boys die, then both of the friendly spirits die, and then this good boy is going to die and spawn onto itself. And let's see, the Echo Woods are in the 300s. That's probably good enough. Now they're in the 400s. Yeah, I think that this winds up being, and this will get them to the 600s, plus with a 200 health donkey. And then if anything dies, they're all going to recoup all of their health back. So I think that this is really powerful. And actually, okay, that wound up being pretty clutch there because my opponent's backline died before their front line. Their Romeos in the back, except for that last one, didn't even get to summon Juliet's. So all that is pretty silly. We dream again, and then we find Trophy Hunter, and this is why this is just my most ridiculous game ever, because we are able to find the Trophy Hunter, and then we are able to find another good boy. So when this happens, we're going to get a level 6 treasure. And remember how I said Magic Sword was currently a level 6 treasure when I was recording this video? Well, that was a little bit of a foreshadowing of what was to come, because we're going to be able to get a Magic Sword, and we're going to be able to get a doubled Magic Sword. I am going to have to toss my Tree of Life, but then I'm going to have a 200 attack upgraded Good Boy, and then from here is when I'm realizing, wait a minute, I don't need all of these units. I can definitely cut some of this stuff. Maybe putting some additional health on my Good Boy is good. I think I should move the Echo Wood to the front line as well, or I should move everything over so that both of my Good Boys will proc at the front. Should also probably lock that shop to take the Pigomorph, but my opponent doesn't really have a strong board. They're just Miri, and they're just playing princes and princesses. They definitely weren't the mask player, because they've been playing Miri all day. So my opponent kills the Good Mother, which means I'm only going to summon one Good Boy, but it's going to resummon with 1,000 attack, giving everything else 1,000. Like, this is just nuts. This is craziness. Everything currently has 1,000 attack right now, and even if my opponent was able to kill a little bit more of my board here, it's all resummoning. You can't even see how big my Echo Woods are, but there you can barely see it. 10,000 attack on my Echo Wood, which is some of the biggest Echo Woods that I've ever made, breaking into the 5 digits there. With Trophy Hunter, obviously Trophy Hunter is able to do it. I'll show the end screen here again one last time, but didn't even have to play half of these units. I don't even know what exactly the correct configuration of them was, but the main benefit, like I said, of playing more units is that we're less likely to get our Good Boy Pigomorphed, but as long as our Good Boy doesn't get Pigomorphed or Medusa'd, this is insane. And pretty powerful stuff there. That was still about halfway through last season, and the crazy thing about that game was too, it was decently high ranked too. It was about the 3600s, but the crazy thing about that game, which you may have forgotten about, was that I skipped an additional turn because I disconnected at the beginning of the game. And I think that that makes it a pretty wonderful lesson too, in terms of not getting frustrated and just doing what you can with what you have. I put together one of the craziest boards when I was super far behind, and I did get pretty lucky. We did some fun stuff with Grim Souls and Polywoggles and all that stuff, but we were just able to make some really fantastic stuff come together for that game. So thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, and feel free to subscribe if you want to see some more sweet Storybook Brawl content in the future. You can also catch me live at twitch.tv/NoLucksGiven, where I'm streaming some Storybook Brawl. That's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace!